Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Football Club of Riverside. I'm your host, and my name is Yemi. Today, I'm going to be talking about dating advice for women. Yes, you heard me correctly. Dating advice for women. But from the start, I've got to give a disclaimer. This is advice. You're under no obligation whatsoever to take any of this advice. It's entirely up to you. If you find it useful, go ahead and use it. If you think it's all rubbish, discard it. This is not a diss video. I just personally believe that we have two major problems in this country, and one is a decline in marriage rate, and the second is linked to it, a decline in birth rate. People are not getting married as they used to, and therefore they're not having children like they used to. If current trend continues, then we're going to run into major problems. There won't be enough children born to then grow up to make up the workforce, which means in the future, some of us will not have any money left in the pot for pension. That's it. That's why I'm doing this video, because we need men and women to go out there, date, get married, have children, build a family. Because for me, you can tell how well or bad a country is doing by the quality and quantity of the marriages within the country, within the boundaries of that country. That said, before I get into my suggested advice, there are three things that I want women to bear in mind. As a woman, you have biological clock, beauty clock, and value. Now, value is not this. Everyone's got value. As a human being, you've got value. But in a relationship and marriage or sexual marketplace, women come with value. It's inbuilt. You don't have to do anything for it. You're just a woman and your value. Biological clock, usually between the ages of 18 and 29, where the woman, as a woman, you're the most fertile you'll ever be. The beauty clock intertwined with the biological clock at that during that age gap, which I call the selective years, where as a woman you'll have the most, you'll be the most attractive you'll ever be, the most fertile you'll ever be, the most attention you'll ever get, and this is going to be the most proposal period. This is a period where you get the most proposal, and during this period is where you get the most access to everything that a man will have to pay a fortune to get into. So you get into nightclubs for free, you get invited to come on a boat ride on a yacht for free, and you'll be fed as well. Most men can only dream of that. Or if they don't want to dream about that, they can actually go and work hard, get their money up, and go and attain that. Because men don't come with inbuilt value in the marketplace, in the sexual or relationship marketplace. You have to build a value. As a man, you have to go and get a job, buy a house, a car, a bicycle, whatever women find attractive these days, you have to go and acquire them. So, having said that, now let's get into the suggested advice that I've got for women. Ladies, number one, be honest. When you go on a date, the guy is pluck up the courage, is ask you out, is pick the venue, is going to pay for it, is ask you to come along. On the first date, like I said in all my previous video, if you go and watch, first date is just a minimal exchange of information. This is not where you come and tell a life story. In that date, whether it's half an hour, 45 minutes, 15 minutes, however long that date is, be honest. One of the complaints I hear time and time again from men is that you cannot take anything a woman tells you on the first date as gospel, because women tend to exaggerate. I don't know if it's exaggeration, but classic example. A man asks a woman on a date, what are you looking for? What are the qualities you're looking for in a man? And she's come prepared with a 4-page list of qualities that she's looking for. For whatever reason, that man and woman did not connect, so they don't form a relationship. He goes his way, she goes her way. She then goes and finds another guy and starts a relationship with. So the first guy is thinking, out of sheer curiosity, is thinking, I wonder how many of the boxes on those 4 pages this guy tick to be that successful. So he inquires, and then to his surprise, he discovers this guy doesn't tick any of the boxes at all. It's not gentle, it's not kind, he doesn't treat her nice, he doesn't talk to her nicely, he doesn't open doors for her. All the gentle thing that women always say they want. He doesn't have any of those, none of those qualities. So that leaves the man thinking either she was lying or she doesn't know what she wants. On the other hand, men generally on the first date will tell you the truth. So a man will tell you, I'm not looking for anything serious, I just want a casual hookup. And he's telling the truth. The problem is, most women think, well, I can change him, I can work with it, I can change him. But no, ma'am, you can't change him. It's not going to change. It's not going to change for you. It's not going to change for the next woman. Even his mom that loves him dearly cannot change him. So what chance have you got? So number one, be honest. Just go there. If you don't like him, tell him you don't like him. Don't waste his time. Don't waste your time. Get to the point. Keep it moving. Number two, don't listen to all the advice in your echo chamber. Don't listen to all the advice and suggestions in your echo chamber. And there's 3 reasons for that. For me, and this is one reason why I'm doing this video. As a woman, if you want to know about a man, you go and ask a man. There's no point asking a woman. Now, the reason why you shouldn't listen to all the advice and suggestions in your echo chamber is, there's 3 reasons. 1, women are not taught to understand what a man wants. So how are you going to ask someone that doesn't have a clue what I want about me? At the same time, don't go and ask a gay man about what a straight man wants, because he wouldn't know. That's number 2. Women don't like women. I was going to say women hate women, but that's a bit too strong. Women don't like women. So you get a classic example is a woman finds a man, then she goes back to her echo chamber and they discuss this guy and they all come to the conclusion that this guy's not good for you. So she dumps him. Then one person in that echo chamber then takes it upon himself to go and hook up with that guy. And then you then complain, hold on, you told me not to go out with him and now you're going out with him. And then the response you get is, well, you didn't want him. Which is true. So whichever advice you listen to, at the end of the day, you make that choice and that's your choice. And then the third one, women love victimhood. A woman will have a 4-page list of what they're looking for in a guy. Then then she gets a guy that fits all the criteria, ticks all the boxes, and then he does one thing wrong. And because he's done one thing wrong in her eyes, all of a sudden she's a victim, and this guy's done wrong, and this guy is this, and this guy is that. Get a grip. You're not looking for an angel. No one is perfect. When you go on a date and you find that guy that ticks all the boxes that you've got, however unrealistic those boxes are, he's not going to be perfect. He's not going to be perfect. None of us are. You're not either. So get a grip and live in the real world. That's second. Third, all those call and text rules that you've got, ditch them. You know, the one where a guy sent you a text, you've seen the text, and then you decide, I'm not going to respond straight away because if I do, I'm going to look desperate. Or the classic one, the guy is interested in you, he calls you, you deliberately let the call bounce, and then you call him back 3 hours later. Or even the next day. That is petty and childish. It was cute when you were 13 or 14 and you did that. Now you're grown. Grown folks don't play games like that. If a guy likes you, make it easy for him. If he texts you, respond. As one guy puts it, he said, women are not creative, women don't do much. You go to work and come back and watch daytime TV. So how busy can you get not to respond to a text? Or just to pick up the call. Men don't talk that long on a phone call. So it's going to be straightforward. And my advice would be, if a man calls you, keep it short and straight to the point, and your phone call should be to arrange a date. The date is where you talk in person 1-to-1. So ditch the call and text rules. And the next one, don't ignore red flags. If there's anything that doesn't sit well with you, as soon as you get to find out or that pops up, deal with it straight away. Talk about it. Come to a compromise. But don't ignore. Because any red flag you ignore, this is where I put it. As you date, so you marry. Anything you see in a date or your courtship that you don't like, you say, oh, it's only one thing, and then the next one's another one thing. If you don't deal with it, when you get married, it'll be there waiting for you. So then it becomes a bigger issue because, oh, and you knew about this, how come now you're kicking up a fuss? So don't ignore red flag. Next one, be emotionally available. Now, I've seen a woman on a date. I don't know whether she's bored or she doesn't find the guy interesting. Then she brings up a phone and she spends the most time on the phone. Personally, I think that's disrespectful. If you're on a date, be about that date, be on the date, interact, communicate. Even if it's boring, come on, use your creativity and do something. And at the end of the date, let the guy know that, thank you for inviting me on a date. I don't find this particularly interesting, so there'll be no second date. But be respectful about it. Being on your phone is disrespectful and quite frankly, it's annoying. Then, next one. This is where I'm going to sound like a church pastor. But I'm not. No sex. No sex. First date, second date, third date, no sex. If the guy wants to have sex with you, make sure you get the ring first. As the Americans would put it, don't carry till you marry. When I was younger, the buzzword was abstinence. Abstinence. No sexual activity or activities until you get married. So, ladies, if you want the guy to marry you, during those selective years, the productive years between 18 and 29, find a guy, be real with this guy, get married. Then when you're married, you can give him all the sex you like. But prior to that, no sex whatsoever. And we can get into why having sex before marriage is not in the best interest of you as a woman. It doesn't affect the guy most, but I won't condone it either way. Then the next one, no alcohol. I know the guy pays for the date and there's going to be free alcohol, but just because alcohol is available doesn't mean you have to consume. That's one thing. Or second thing, doesn't mean you have to consume so much that you get drunk and legless. I've heard a lot of women complain about, oh, because of the influence of alcohol, I then went on to do what I normally wouldn't have done. But if you must drink, do what the French people do, have one glass of wine and get it over and done with. But no alcohol, no sex, no alcohol. And then lastly, have fun. It's a date. It's not that serious. If you don't like the guy, it's not going to be the end of the world. He's going to move on to someone else and he's going to appreciate your honesty. But go out there, be about that date, have fun, be honest. Don't listen to all of the advice in your echo chambers. Ignore, ditch the call and text rules. Don't ignore red flags. Be emotionally available. No sex, no alcohol. And the last one, all that 4-page list that you looking for. Do you really need someone to take all of that? Seriously? Do you seriously need one person to fulfill all these 4 pages of criteria? So I would advise ditch all the